Uh, you may use the same link every day. You don't have to, sign in every day separately. So you can use the same link which you are getting today. Okay. Yeah, Ramya. So you may use anything. You may use, I think I have asked you to download Thorny Editor. You may use Thorny Editor also. So whatever code we are writing, you can write it in the Thorny Editor also. Okay. You can use Thorny Editor, you can use Atom Editor, or you can use PyCharm, any editor you may use. Yes, Omkari, please go ahead. Yes, Spider is also good. Dinesh. Yes, Omkari, please. So, yes, what's your question? This is not taking the input. Okay. Why it is not taking the input? It should take the input. As false. Ah, correct. So see, basically you want to implement the AND gate, right? Okay. So what I will do, just a second. PyCharm is an editor ID, Lakshmi. You may use that ID. Hmm. So see, what you are doing here. So let's say if I will run this code, input logic of A, correct? So let's say if you are entering true, correct? So upon entering true, it will become a string, and that string will be passed to the bool function. And yesterday we saw what? That inside bool function, if you write one empty string, then it is false, right? It is false. So here if you write bool of empty string, it is false, correct? And inside this, if you pass anything, that will become true, correct? So this is the bool. Now what you are doing, you are writing true here. So I will run this code again. So it is asking me to enter the logic of A. I am entering true. Okay, so if I am entering true, this is not an empty string. This is a string with some characters. So bool of true will return true, correct? Enter. Now you are entering false, correct? So if you are entering false, this is going to be again some string that will be passed to bool function. This will also return true. So your basically A and B are both true. So it will always return true. It will always return true. So if you want this, so what you need to do, you need to check like this. This one, right? Now what you need to do, input logic of A, user will enter true, then here user will enter false. And here you can check whether this is true. And this should also be true. It should be, you should compare it with a string. Okay. Now if both are true, then only it will true, otherwise it will return false. So let's run this now. So I'm entering true, then true, both are true, fine. Now let's say if I will run this, true, false, this is false. Okay, fine. Umkari, is it clear? Yeah, okay. We'll start with today's class. Okay. So I think what we discussed yesterday, we discussed this topics. Let me check once. Okay, so Ravindra Kumar is asking how to clear everything if I want to use Thorny editor for new program. For me, it's coming heap area. If you want to use Thorny for a new program, then open a new file, no? So let's say this is the Thorny editor. If you have written this program, if you want to open a fresh, then you can go ahead and open a new file. That def is for defining a function, Mithun. That is not the part of this discussion, current discussion. So I'll be coming to function later. Some default always will be displaying in heap area. No, Ravindra. So if you will use a if you will create a new file where you can save it as a new file, let's say subtract.py or something, then some default value will not be there. Okay. So you can write a fresh program in the fresh file. Okay. Explain once this command Python. So -m dis add.py. Okay. So is it there in my PPT? Was it there? Can you please confirm, Ravindra? Was it there? This command was there. Please confirm. Otherwise, I will take it later. Okay. Confirm whether this command was there in my PPT. If it is there, I will explain it now. Otherwise, I will explain it towards the end of today's session, around 10:10. Why? Because I need to start already. We are too late. Okay. So let's come to the yesterday's session where we left off. What was this? I think we have done with the Python overview, writing a first Python program, lines, indentation, Python identifiers, operators. We are into operators, input, getting input, and we are done, right? So we'll start with the numbers, comments, and multi-line comments. I think, I don't know whether we have done it or not, so I'll do it today, okay? So I think we covered till bitwise operator, right? Yes. Till bitwise operator we have covered in the yesterday's class. Today we are going to start with the assignment operation. Okay, so let's start with the assignment operation. What is assignment operation? So you have seen this is a assignment operation, right? So in the case of assignment operation, what it says, we have only one single operator equal to, which is called assignment operator, right? Now this operator takes two operands. One on the right hand side, that will be a variable, and one operand on one on the left hand side, that will be a variable, and one operand will be on the right hand side, that may be some value, okay, or some kind of functions like input or all, okay. So you can take these values. So in this case, what happens, these values on the right hand side will get assigned to the variable on the left hand side. This is called assignment operator. So this is simple. The important one is the compound assignment operator. Compound assignment operator. Now what compound assignment operator says, so compound assignment operator, so sometime, let's say what happens, we have this number a equal to 10. Now I want to increment it by 1. Okay, I want to increment it by 1 or 2 or 3 or by 10. So what I need to do, and after incrementing it, I want to save the result into the same variable, into a only, right? So what I will do, I'll be writing a is equal to a plus 10. So I'm incrementing a by 10 first, and then I'm storing that value again into a. Okay, I'm updating a basically. Okay, so this kind of operation is called compound assignment operation. Okay, so what we are doing here is, so previous value of a is 10, and I want to update this a equal to 10 with 20. So I will add 10 into this. So I'm doing that operation first. A plus 10 will become 20, and then 20 will get assigned to a variable. So I am, compound assignment operation means you will do the assignment plus you will do some operation also at the same time. So this kind of operation is called compound assignment operation. For example, now a is equal to, I may write a into 3. Okay, so here first I am multiplying a with 3. What is the value of a? The value of a is 20. 20 into 3, 60, and then the result I am again assigning to the same variable a. This is called the compound assignment operator. Now all these operations, so you are writing with this, right? So instead of writing like this, you can write this same operation like this: a plus equal to 10. This a equal to a plus 10 is equivalent to a plus equal to 10. Similarly, a equal to a into 3 is equivalent to a multiplied equal to 3. Okay, so this operations is equivalent to this operation. So instead of writing this, you may directly write this. Okay, instead of writing this, you may write this. Okay, so both are similar. Okay, this is called compound assignment operator. So what all compound assignment operation we have? So one is this plus equal to, we have plus equal to, then minus equal to, then multiplication equal to, then float division equal to, yes, float division equal to, float division equal to, float division equal to, then exponent equal to, then modulo equal to. Okay, and then you have bitwise and equal to, bitwise or equal to, bitwise left shift equal to, bitwise right shift equal to. These all are the compound assignment operator we have. Okay, so what happens in the compound assignment operation is, first this operation will be done and the updated result will be assigned to the same variable. Okay, this is what the compound assignment operation is. Let me know if you have any question, please. Any question, please? Yes, no, anything? Okay. Okay. So the next topic we have is, sorry, did I miss the line and indentation yesterday or today? Lines and indentation I have not covered, Doris. So I'll be covering after this operator when I'll be going to if statement. Okay. How memory management happens here? So, okay. So let me do this. So let's say if you're writing a is equal to 10, right? Now, let's say if you will be writing a plus equal to 10, then what will happen? See, this 10 is one object, okay? Now, this object will be created where? In the heap area, and a will be having the reference to that, okay? Now, after this operation will be done, so this will be equivalent to what? We said this will be equivalent to a is equal to a plus 10, right? So what will happen? So first we will get the ID of a. What is the ID of a? Whatever the ID of a, we will get that ID and we will access that value 10. 10 plus 10, we will create a new object 20. So 10 will be existing as well as 20 will also be created in the heap area. Okay. And this new ID of 20 will get assigned to a. So that is how this memory management will happen for this kind of operation. So let's see that. If you will comment this, a equal to 10, a plus equal to 10, right? So if I will run this program, if I will save and if I will execute it, so let's see. First, 10 will get saved in the memory, which is having one ID. A will be pointing to the same memory. Now, after in this operation, one new object 20 will be created in the heap area. Correct? You can see 20 is created in the heap area, and now A will be pointing to this new memory ID. Okay, A will be pointing to this new memory ID, which is 0. Okay. So see, that's why I asked you to download the Thorny editor, and now all this experiment you can do from your end instead of asking here, because we need to cover a lot of concepts. It's better if you can do this experiments from your side. Okay. Now I'm expecting you to do all these things from your side. Okay. Okay, so now I will come to the compound assignment operation is done. Now I will come to the identity operator. Okay. Now, what all identity operator we have? So the identity operators we have is and is not. Okay, so these are the two identity operators we have. Now, what this identity operator does is, let's say if I will write a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, then if I will write print a is b, is it true or false? Everyone, true or false? Everyone, please respond. True. Okay, so if I will run this, I'm getting true, right? So let's say if I will write a is equal to 1000 and b is equal to 1000, print a is b. This is true or false? Everyone, please respond fast. Okay, so this is false. Okay, so when I'm taking a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 10, print a is b is true, and if I'm taking a is equal to 1000 and b is equal to 1000, print a is b is false. Now what is the reason? So this is true, but this is false. What is the reason? So there is a concept called object reusability. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing, remember, is and is not doesn't compare the content. Okay, doesn't compare the content, it compares the memory ID. Okay, it compares the memory ID. Remember this. Is and is not operator, identity operator. That's why we say identity operator. So identity operator compares the memory ID of both the operands. Okay, not the content. Okay, for comparing the content, which operator we have? Please respond in the chat box. For comparing the content, which operator is used? No. To compare the content, yes, correct, Ravindra. It is equal to equality operator. Equal to or not equal to you can use for comparing the content. Okay. So now let's say A equal to 10, B is equal to 10 you have. So what is happening here? I need to check one thing. Print ID of A. And I need to print ID of B. ID is a function which returns the memory address of the object. Okay. So if you are checking ID of A and ID of B, so from the memory management, what we know, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10. This A and B will both be pointing to the same object, right? Okay, so I have not covered this. This is the concept of object reusability. But let me first run this code and then I will explain what happens exactly. So when I will run this code, you will see ID of A and ID of B are similar, isn't it? ID of A and ID of B are similar, 1042, 10432, 10432. This is why it is returning true. Now let's comment this and copy this code here. Now if I will run this code, then I will get, you can see in the case of 1000, ID of A and ID of B are different. So that's why we are getting A is B as false. Okay. So I hope it is clear. Identity operator is and is not. So how to comment all at one shot? I told you earlier, copy all the code at once. Okay. And then command or control /. Okay. Okay, so print ID of A and ID of B is giving you, ID is a function, built-in function, which gives you the memory address of 1000. Okay, memory address of 1000. So when you are checking ID of A, so for A where 1000 is located, and when you are checking ID of B, so for B where 1000 is located. So in this case, these are the two different 1000 objects are getting created. Okay, but in the case of 10, only one object is getting created, 10, and A and B both are pointing to the same. No. Ternary editor will work differently. Okay, Ternary editor will work differently. So I was coming to that. When it comes to this Ternary, so let's say you have A is equal to 10, okay, and B is equal to 10, right? Print ID of A and print ID of B, okay, and print A is B. I'm executing this code. Okay. Now just see here what will happen. There is a concept of object reusability. We need to understand that first. Okay. So what object reusability says that if one object is getting used on a regular basis, then we should reuse the object instead of creating that object every time. Okay, what object reusability concept says that if an object is getting reused several times or on a regular basis, then we should reuse the object instead of creating it several times. Okay, so if we are doing this, then we are implementing the memory optimization. We are using the memory in an optimized manner, right? So we are not unnecessarily blocking the memories. Okay, so this is the optimization of the memory. Now, so object reusability concept is there, but it is for the 10, but not for it. Object reusability concept is not working for 1000. Why? So see, this object reusability concept is there for integers. Okay, but in the case of integer, this concept is only available from the range from -5 to 256, only for these numbers. Object reusability concept is available in the case of numbers, in the case of integers, only from the number -5 to 256. Okay, now it is available in the case of Boolean values. Okay, so this is for true and false. Okay, even it is available for strings. In the case of strings, it is available for A to Z, A to Z, and A to Z. Okay, fine. So object reusability concept is available for all these three data type and only for these values. Okay, remember this. Okay. Yes, it is meant for only Python. Okay, object reusability concept is there only for Python. Okay, now it is not available for float and it is not available for complex. Okay. Clear? Object reusability concept is not available for float and complex. I told you, for numbers -5 to 256, for Boolean true and false, for string A to Z, if you will have any number outside of this range, object reusability concept will not occur. That is the reason for 1000, A is B is returning false and ID of A and B are different. Clear? So now let's say if I am running this code, okay, let me comment this code. Okay. So now if I will debug this code, so let's get into this code. A is equal to 10. 10 is one object, which you can see in heap it is created. Okay. Now 10 is another object. You can see I'm not creating another object in the heap. Okay. I'm not creating another object in the heap. Rather, A and B are both pointing to the same object. Clear? A and B are both pointing to the same object. I hope it is clear. Okay. Fine. Now, if I will come to the next part, so I'm printing ID of A and ID of B. So ID of A will be similar as ID of B. Okay. ID of A and ID of B are similar and A is B, which is true. So it will return true. Okay. Now let's check this same code for 1000. So see, editor to editor, it will vary. I will first run this code. Okay. So I'm creating 1000 here first. Then you can see in the case of Ternary editor, this 1000 is getting created only once. Why? Because see, this is not the Python, C Python. This is a different implementation of Python. This Ternary comes with its built-in Python, okay? And it doesn't behave like what we are learning. So the thing which we are learning, that is true in the case of C Python, okay? Or that is true in the case of Iron Python. The Python which is implemented in this Ternary, that is completely different, okay? So the concept is not working here, but the eventual Python, we have to learn this. We are learning this concept with respect to C Python, and C Python is implemented across the industry. So we need to understand the concept with respect to the industry, okay? Not with respect to the particular editor. Editor to editor, it may behave differently. In Ternary, it is not working like that. So what I will do, I will open a C Python. I have shown you this in the Iron Python already, how it is behaving. ID of A and ID of B are different, right? Here I have shown you ID of A and ID of B are different, right? So two objects are getting created. Similarly, I will show you this property with the C Python also, okay? So I'm opening C Python in the terminal. Now I hope you can see the terminal. I'm opening Python here and I'm taking A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, and ID of A is going to be some ID and ID of B here also will be similar, right? Because both are similar. So A is B will be true, right? Now A is equal to 1000 I'm taking and B is equal to 1000 I'm taking. Now if I check the ID of A and ID of B, it will be different. I hope you can see here. It means what it says that in the case of C Python or Iron Python or the main implementation of Python, the objects which are not in the range of -5 to 256, that for those objects, object reusability concept will not be there. Okay, so this is the main concept we need to understand. Okay, object reusability concept is not available outside of the range of -5 to 256. Similarly, let's say if you will write A is equal to true, B is equal to true. Now, if you will check the ID of A and B, ID of A and ID of B, so the ID of both are similar. Let's say if I will take A is equal to A, okay, and I'm taking B is equal to A, okay, so sorry, A, right? And if I'm checking ID of A and ID of B, it will be similar, correct? 5432, 5432. Okay, so for the Boolean, for the strings, for the numbers, minus 5 to 256, all this objective usability concept is there, but outside that range is not available. Okay, fine, everyone. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So this is about identity. Is idle IDE is C Python? Yes, ideally is C Python implementation. You can check it there. It will show the same thing, whatever we have explained here. Okay. Okay. So this is about the is operator, or you can say identity operator, and the object usability concept. So now the question comes is, object usability concept is there for integers. It is there for strings. It is there for Boolean values. Okay. But it is not there for float and complex. Why? Question arises, why it is not there for float and complex? Isn't it? Right. So why it is not there for float and complex? So try to understand the reason. So if you will see, I have specified a range here. Okay. If you will see these values, so you can see I have specified a range for integer minus 5 to 256, a specific range. Boolean true and false, string A to Z and A to Z. So if you will count total 256 plus 5. How much? 261 plus 2, 263 plus 52. Okay, somewhere around 320, 330 characters are there for which I have to create this object. I have to keep this object usability concept. Now, how this object usability concept appears, how it works actually. So remember, whenever you start your Python, let's say when I will run this program, so actually I'm running PVM or I'm running Python in my system. I have explained it earlier in my previous classes that whenever you run a program, PVM will automatically start running, and PVM is a program, right? It is nothing but a Python, right? So that PVM, which is written in some programming language, it uses these characters a lot. Minus 5 to 256, these numbers, true and false, A to Z, A to Z, it uses a lot. Okay. So because of this, what happens, these memory are already sitting in the memory, these values already sitting in the memory whenever you start your Python or whenever you start running your program. So whenever I will run this program, these values will get allocated into the memory automatically. So these values are already sitting, because while writing this Python program, these values has been used a lot. So what programmers or what Python developers has done, that they have seen that these numbers or these values they are using a lot, so they have provided object usability concept. How you can verify that these values are already existing in the memory? So let's see that. Let's cross verify it. Okay, I will terminate this and I will reopen this one. Okay, now I'm starting the Python interpreter. Now I'm not writing any value. I'm not writing 10, 20, 1,000, 100, anything. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the references, how many times 10 has been used right now without writing anything. Okay, I've just started my Python. You can see I've started my Python, and I'm going to check that how many references are already created for 10. So to get the references, there is a sys module. Okay, now inside sys module, there is a function called sys.getRefCount, which returns that how many times this object has been used already in the memory, or how many references are created. So for which object I want to check? I want to check for 10, a number 10. Okay, so let's see that for how many times it has been created. If I will run this, so I'm getting this 13 times. It means when I started Python, internally there are already 10 references created for 13 references created for 10, right? It means 10 is already existing in the memory. So we are reusing that. We are not creating another object. If I will write, let's say, if I will write A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10, right? So I'm not creating a 10, a new object. Actually, 10 is already existing. I'm just creating 2 more references. So now if I will try to check the reference count, it will be 15 now. Okay. So these values are already sitting in the memory. So since this is a specified value, this is the small range of value, so we can easily allocate the memory for them. But when it comes to assign the value at runtime, or you can say while starting the Python for float and complex, can you imagine that how many values we have to assign, or how much memory will be required just to pre-allocate the memory for the values between 0 and 1? How many values, how many float values you have between 0 and 1? How many float values you can have between 0 and 1? Any idea? How many float values you can have between 0 and 1? Infinite. Clear, right? So we cannot pre-allocate these values. in advance, right? So this is not possible. That's why. And why not for complex? Because complex, real part and imaginary part in the complex can be float value. This is the reason we don't pre-allocate the value for float and complex both. But when it comes to integer, Boolean and string, this is a specified range of values which we can pre-allocate the values easily. Okay. Is this clear for everyone? Any question on object usability, identity operator? Any question, please go ahead. Arun, do you have any question? I think you're asking, yes, means it's clear for you, I hope. Okay, okay. What about others? Any question? I'm getting just a few response. Any question from anyone? Please go ahead. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. So now I will come to the next topic. So we are done with the identity operator. This is the identity operator we have. And next we will move to the, what else we have? So assignment operator, membership identity operator we are done. We have ternary operator. I will come to this here. Let's start with the comment and single line comment and multi-line comment. So you might have seen that I'm commenting a lot of code in my, here I'm commenting a lot of code here in the Thorny editor or anywhere. So let's say if you want to create a single line comment, then simply what you can do, you can put a single hash before that. Okay, so that particular line will be commented. Now, what do you mean by a comment? So whenever you comment a line, so that part of the code will not be executed. Simple. So if I want to comment this last line, line number 12, I can simply put a single hash before that. A single line comment works like this. But let's say if you have multiple lines to comment, let's say you have thousands or 2,000 lines to comment. So few editors comes with the built-in shortcut keyword, which you can use to comment the multiple lines, 1,000 lines or 2,000 lines. Okay. So what you can do, you can simply select all these lines like in Thorny editor, like in this Jupyter editor, you can select the lines and you can press command /. So all the lines will be commented, whatever you have selected. But selecting 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 lines of code and selecting all of them, it will be quite impossible, right? So you may miss something somewhere. Okay. And dragging and all those things will be quite, it's not easy, right? So how you can comment there? So let's say if you want to comment this, if you have this kind of situation, then how you can comment it? So let's say if I want to comment these all lines, okay, starting from 1 to 12. So what I can do commenting is I can keep all these things in a string. Okay. So to keep all these things in a string, I will keep a triple quotation in the beginning. And wherever I want to close the comment, at the end, I will keep this triple quote. I will close this triple quote. Okay. So opening triple quote and closing triple quote, if you will do this, so these 3 lines or these multiple lines will be commented at once. Okay. So you don't have to select and don't have to remember the shortcut key for every editor or every ID. Okay. So you can simply do this. This is also works like a comment. It won't be actually, it works like a string, but since it is not having any reference, so after some time, garbage collection will happen for this object. Okay. So it works like a comment. Clear, everyone? So this is about single line comment and multiple line comment. Any question, let me know. Next, we have data types in Python. Okay. So we have different data types. First, we are coming to the fundamental data types. Okay. So what all fundamental data types we have? In the fundamental data types, the first one we have is integers. Okay. Then we have floats. Then we have complex. Okay. Now, these all 3 are numbers. Remember, all these 3 are numbers. Okay. We will be learning about them. Then we have Boolean data type, and then we have complex data type. Okay. Boolean and complex. Sorry, not complex, string. Okay. So first we'll try to cover these 3, and then we will come to the string part. Okay. So this 4, integer, float, complex, and bool, and then we will come to the string part after covering if, else, and for loops. Okay. So probably string we will start tomorrow. Today we'll try to cover this 4 data types, if, else, and loop. Okay. So let's do that. First we will start with the integers. Integer, floats, and complex are number type. Okay. So let's see what is integers. Okay, integers basically are real number without decimal point. Without decimal point, a real number without decimal point is integer. For example, it can be anything. It can be negative, positive, zero, anything. So let's say minus 10 is an integer, plus 10 is an integer, 0 is also an integer. Okay, so everything without a decimal point, every number without a decimal point is an integer number. Okay, int type. Okay, now the corresponding function we have for integers is, for typecasting, the function is int. Okay, and so you can see all real numbers, positive, negative, including 0, without decimal point is integers. Float, all real numbers with decimal point. So any number which you take with a decimal point, that is float. Complex, any number which is in the form of a plus bj, where a is the real part and b is the imaginary part. What is this complex number? I'll discuss it in detail, but let's start with the integer. So now we have seen what is an integer. Now we will come to the size of the data type. So remember, there is no size concept in Python. Okay, it means there is no long data type, there is no short data type. In the case of integer, there is only integer type. Okay, there is only integer type. Okay, so what happens actually? What is this long and short? So those who are not coming from technical background, what happens in other programming language? Let's say if you have a larger number in other programming language, let's say you have this much big number. Okay, this is a big number, large number. So in other programming languages, what will happen? This a will become, since it is a whole number without a decimal point, but still it will become a long type. Okay, it will not be an integer type in other programming language. If you will check the type in those programming language, type of a, it will become a long type. Okay, similarly, let's say you have another number 0.000, a very small number. I will take very small number 0.1. And if you will check the type of b, okay, so in those programming languages, this b becomes a short type because it is a very small number. Okay, but in Python, we don't have all these things. So if you will check, since it is Python, if I will check type of a and type of b, so here this will become, sorry, not this minus, sorry, 1 minute, not 0. Instead of this, I'll be having minus. This is a very small number, right? So if you'll take this number, then this will become the short type, okay? And this will become the long type. So I will just increase this. So this will become the long type. Why? Because this is a large number and this is a small number. So this will become a short type. But in Python, we don't have long and short type. In Python, everything is an integer. So if you will run this code, you will get integer type only. Okay, both are integer type. Okay, so there is no concept of size in Python. I hope it is clear. Next, integer can be represented in different forms. So there are different forms in which you can represent an integer value. So what all forms are there? So an integer can be represented in different forms. Okay, one is decimal. Okay, one is binary. We have seen binary yesterday, and one is octal, and one is hexadecimal. So these are the different representation of a number. Okay. If anyone having any question, I'm going a bit fast. I need to be slowed down, or everything is fine. Please confirm. It's fine, right? Okay, okay, okay. Because I'm not getting any response from anyone, so I hope, I don't know what happened. Okay. So let's say if I will have a number a is equal to 100, right? So if I want to represent this is the binary representation for, sorry, this is the decimal representation. First, I will come to the decimal representation. So if you want to represent any number in decimal, so in the case of decimal, the base is 10. Okay, remember the base is 10. The allowed digits in this case are 0 to 9. Okay, and no prefix required. Okay, and if you want to convert any number into decimal, then simply do this. A is equal to any, let's say if you have a binary number, so you write 0B1010 and print A, you will get the corresponding decimal number. Let's say you have any octal number, so you just write 0O and 7654. So it will get converted into the decimal number. So you don't have to do some extra effort. You don't have to, and even you can write that hexadecimal or binary or octal number inside int function, and it will get converted into the decimal value. Okay. So you have these two options. I will show you what exactly I want to say here. But let's see what is base 10, then allowed digits is 0 to 9 and no prefix required. So basically, when you represent a number in the decimal format, so in the decimal format, you can use any number from 0 to 9, right? So let's say if I want to have 9876543. So this is a decimal number, right? And you have no prefix before this. So what do you mean by prefix? When we will go to binary, we will see. Yesterday, I have shown you one example where a binary number should have 0b in the beginning, right? But decimal number should not have anything in the beginning, right? So it should start with the number, and any number you can take from 0 to 9, that will become a decimal number, right? And base is 10. Why base is 10 means to say 10 digits are allowed, 0 to 10 are allowed, okay? Fine. And it is also play a role while conversion from different bases to base 10 or decimal base, okay? So this is a integer, or you can say this is a decimal representation. Now I will come to the binary representation, how you can represent a number into the binary. So first of all, in binary, base is 2. Since base is 2, so allowed digits are only, you have seen yesterday, the allowed digits are only 0 and 1. Okay. And prefix required is, you can either have a prefix 0b, 0b, small b, or 0, capital B. Anything you can have. Okay. So, and corresponding function is bin function. Okay. To convert from any number to binary, you can convert from any number to binary, you can use this bin function. Remember, this representation only allowed, this different representation only allowed only for integers, okay? Only for integers. You cannot represent float or complex in these formats, okay? Okay. Now, bin function. So let's say let's see how you can, have one binary number. So let's say if I have a is equal to, I want to represent 10 into binary. Then what is the binary representation of 10? 0b 1010. This is the binary representation of 10. Okay. So if you want to get the decimal equivalent from here, so you can simply write print a. This will give you the decimal equivalent. Okay. So you don't have to do any extra effort to convert from binary to decimal. You can simply assign it to a variable, print that variable, that will give you the binary equivalent. For example, I will take one more number, 11100111101. Okay. Now if I will run this code, so this number is equivalent to what? Decimal number 44829. If you want to cross verify, you can simply pass these numbers 44829 to bin function 44829. Okay. Now if you will run this code, you can see this is the same number you are getting as this. Okay. So now we can say that to convert from decimal to binary, we have bin function. And if you have a binary representation, you want to get the decimal equivalent, you can simply assign it to a variable. That binary number should be prefixed with 0b, and you assign it to a variable, print that variable, you will get the corresponding decimal value. Am I clear? Everyone? Everyone? Okay. Okay, great. So now, the last is what all values you can have inside the print function. You can have one decimal value we have seen. You can have an octal value. So octal value should be prefixed with 0O, capital O or small o, and allowed digits are 7654. I will write all these things. So you can have an octal value. You can have one hexadecimal value also. Okay. So we will learn all this octal and hexadecimal. So FC98. Okay. All these things you can have inside this. And even you can have inside bin function, you can have the binary value also. So 0b10101010. Okay, you can have all these things inside the binary function. You can have octal value, you can have decimal value, you can have hexadecimal value, and you can have binary value also inside the bin function. I hope it is clear. So now we will go to the octal representation. Okay, octal representation. Now, in the case of octal representation, base is 8. Okay. Allowed digits are 0 to 7. 0 to 7, 8 digits are there, and prefix required in this case is 0O or 0 capital O, and the corresponding function is OCT. Okay. Now let's see that. So similarly, if you have an octal number, you can simply assign it to a variable with 0O. Only 0 to 7 digits are allowed. Okay, 0 to 7, only these digits you can take. So I will take one number, random octal number 7654. I'm not taking any digits outside 7. Okay, this is an octal number. If I want to check what is the corresponding decimal equivalent of this number, so I will run this code, I will get the decimal equivalent. So 4012 is the decimal equivalent of 67614. So if you want to check whether 4012 is equivalent to 7654 in octal or not, so you have the corresponding OCT function. You can pass 4012 here, and if you will run this code, you will get the corresponding octal value. Okay. Similarly, here octal can have anything: binary value, octal value, decimal value, hexadecimal value, any value octal OCT function can take. I hope octal representation is clear. Now I will go to the hexadecimal representation. Hexadecimal representation. So base is 16 here, and allowed digits are 0 to 9, A to F, or A to F. Okay, capital or small, anything you can take. Okay, so total 16 is required. So 0 to 9 is 10 and A to F is 16. Okay, so total 16 is there. Okay, now the corresponding function we have is hex function. Okay, correct, and prefix required here is 0 small x or 0 capital X. So how you can represent one hexadecimal value? So A is equal to, first you need to write 0x and the corresponding hexadecimal value, whatever you want to write. So A to F you can take, I will take FC, and any digit you can take from 0 to 9, I will take 98. Okay, so this is a hexadecimal value. Now how I can represent this? So print A, if you will write, so it will give you the decimal equivalent of this hexadecimal value. So the decimal equivalent of FC98 is 64664. So if you want to cross check, you can simply use this hex function, and inside hex function you can pass 64664. This is the decimal value. Now if you run this code, it will give you the corresponding hexadecimal value, which is nothing but 0xFC98. Okay, in hex A equal to A. Yes, capital A and small a both are same Omkari. Okay, clear? So these all are the different representation of number, integers. Okay, so remember, only integers you can represent in these formats. Okay, fine. So I hope this is clear. Now we will come to the next. So we are done with the different representation, and we have done this one also. Bin, hex, and oct can take any form of input. Okay, so we are done with the integers. Now we will come to the okay. So we need to discuss int function also. So there is the int function. Okay, so if you want to convert any number to integer, then you have the corresponding int function. We have seen int function already. Now we just need to check that what all values we can pass inside the int function. Okay, so can we pass a integer value? Yes, you can pass an integer value. Control C. Can we pass a float value? Can we pass a float value? Yes, you can pass a float value. Now, can I pass integer value in the string? Yes, you can pass the integer value in the string. Can I pass the binary value? Yes, I can pass the binary value 0B1010. Can I pass a hexadecimal value inside the int function? So I'm just telling you that what all values you can pass, means from what type to what type conversion is possible using int function. Okay, so int here, can I pass octal value 0O7654? You can pass these values. Print, can I pass hexadecimal value inside the int function? So 0xFC98, I can pass these values. Can I pass a Boolean value? So int inside int I will pass Boolean value true. Okay, can I pass what else is left? Can I pass 10? Yes, now I will take. Can I pass float value, but in the string format 10.20? Okay, so if you will try to pass this float value in the string format, it will give you the error, it is not accepted. Okay, print. Can I pass complex value 10 plus 20j? Not accepted. Okay, complex value is not accepted. Print int. Can I pass a string value? No, I cannot pass a string value. Print. Can I pass a Boolean value in the string? No, you cannot pass Boolean value in the string. Can I pass what is left? What is left? What is left? Binary or octal value in the string format? No, you cannot pass dissolve value in the string format. Okay. Complex in string? No, you cannot pass. So complex is not allowed. So string format is also not allowed, right? So we are just covering the different corner cases. Rest all you can check. Okay. So ASCII isn't applied in Python. ASCII, what is that? ASCII isn't applied. ASCII is applied in Python. We have seen ASCII is applied in Python. Okay. So we'll come to that. Okay. So let's run this code. First, I need to comment which all is not accepted so that I should get the result. Okay. So I'm running this code. I got all these values. So you can see all these values are applicable. These all values we can pass inside the int function, and you can convert from this type to the integer type. True will get converted to 1. If you are passing any hexadecimal value, you will get the corresponding decimal value, octal value to decimal value, and binary value to decimal value you are easily getting. Okay. So if you are passing 10 integer value in the string format, it is acceptable. If you are passing a float value, it is acceptable. It will convert it into the 10. And if you are passing integer value, that will also be converted. Now, apart from this, if you are passing any of these values, this all will give you the error. So let me run this. So the first one itself will give you the error. 10.20 in the string format is value error. Okay. So it is not accepting. This is error. Okay. So I will comment this line. Okay. Now let me run this. So 10 plus 20j can't convert complex to int. This is type error. So not accepted. This is also commented. Can I pass a string? Let me run this. No, you cannot pass a string, value error. So this is also not accepted. Comment this. Can I pass Boolean value in the string format? No, you cannot pass Boolean value in the string format. This is also error. So it is not accepted. I will comment this one also. So next, can I pass binary value or octal value or hexadecimal value in the string format? No, this is also not accepted. So it will give you the error. So I will comment this line also. So just check what all values are allowed, not allowed. You need to check from your side. Okay. Fine. Okay. So I hope int is clear. Now I will come to the float. Why print 10.20 is executing as 10? Why? Because 10 int is what? Int is a whole number, right? It doesn't gives you the float value. So 10.20 will be what do you say? It will be rounded off to the nearest low value, right? So 10 is the nearest lowest value. It will be rounded off till there. Okay, 10 whole number. Okay. Okay. So this integers is done. Now we have float. So float is what? Any number with a decimal point is a float value, right? We have seen just few minutes back the definition. Now what all data types are available? So double data type is not available. Like in this long and short data type, right? In integer you have long and short. Similarly, if you take a larger float number, then that becomes a double data type, and smaller float number remains float type. But we don't have the double data type in Python. Everything is float. Doesn't matter how big, how small float value you take, it will remain float. Okay. Now float cannot be represented in binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Remember this point. You cannot represent any number into this format. Okay. Sorry, float number into this format, different format. Okay. So this is clear. This means 2 points is clear. Now I just need to check with the float function that what all values are allowed in the float function. Okay. So I'm just copying and pasting here, and instead of int, I will just replace it with float. So instead of int, I will be having float. Okay. Now, so what all values are accepted? First, I will comment these all parts, and I will try to run all these things. Okay. So if you will run this, so you are getting the output for all these things. You can see here, I am passing integer value. If you will pass, it will get converted into the float 10.0. If you are passing float value, you can pass float value, that will get converted to 10.2. Float 10 in the string format, it will be accepted. A binary value inside the float function. Remember, you cannot represent a float into the binary. One type replace all is not there in Jupyter. No, that is that I think Control R should work. No, it is not working. So there should be some shortcut key we need to check. Okay, but anyway, let's leave it. So remember, you cannot represent float into the binary, octal, or hexadecimal. But inside the float function, if you are passing binary value, octal value, or hexadecimal value, it will be converted to the corresponding float value. Okay, so 0B1010 is 10, so it will get converted to 10.0. 07654 is equivalent to in the decimal 4012, so it will get converted to 4012.0, which is a float value. FC98 is equivalent to 64664, so it will get converted to 64664.0. Okay, and true, float true, if you will pass, so true is 1, so 1.0 it will get converted. You can pass even this one also. You can pass a float in the string format. This will be accepted. If you will run this, it will give you 10.2. So in the case of float function, a float value in the string format is acceptable. Okay, clear? But in the case of int function, it is not acceptable. Is this acceptable? So we need to check this is not acceptable. If you run, it will give you the error. So complex to float is not possible. This will give you the error. Now, can we pass a string? So if I will run this, it will give you the error because it is not accepted. So I will comment this. True is possible. No, this is also not possible. This will give you the error. So it is also not accepted. I will comment this. Is this possible? This is also, I think, not possible. So this will give you the error. So this is also, this value is also not accepted. Okay, fine. So I hope it is clear that what all values you can pass into the float function, what all values you cannot pass in the int and float function. Is this clear for everyone? Any question? Please. Any question, please? Any question? Yes, Adit, do you have any question? What about others? It's not clear? Okay. I have 30 people. I'm getting only few responses. Mithun, 10 is accepted and why not A? See, 10 is the, okay, so see what happens. One level of conversion is possible. Okay, remember this. One level of conversion is always possible. But when it comes to two level of conversion, it is not possible. So, for example, you take this 10.20. Okay, so this 10.20 is a float value which is in the string. Okay, if you are passing this float value in the string format to the float function, it is accepting. But when you are passing this float value in the string format in the int, it is not accepting. Because what it has to do, it has to convert this 10.20, which is a string, to float and then float to int, correct? So this is a two level of conversion. Here, if you will come, if you will remove the string, it will get converted into int, and it is a int conversion only. So this is one level of conversion. Similarly, when you are coming to this, so 10.20, which is a string format, if you will remove the quote, it will become a float. So this is also one level of conversion. So remember, in typecasting, one level of conversion is always accepted. When it comes to A, so A is a string. So if you will remove A, it will try to look for the variable. If it is not a variable, then you have to get the corresponding ASCII value for that. And again, there is a two level of conversion, which is not possible. ASCII is applied there. Why why int A is not accepted? No, int A will not be accepted. Who is this? I don't know. Meal. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, but Von, I don't know. VL, yes, VL. I will call VL. Okay, so VL, it is not accepted. Okay, it is ASCII in the sense. So as I said, one level of conversion is fine. As I said, one level of conversion. If you will look at here, so this is an int value kept in quotation. If you remove the quotation, it will become the int. Your PVM doesn't have to do a lot of conversion or lot of, what is the maximum of digits accepted in float? Maximum of digits. There is no limit, Satish. There is no limit. I think it is the same case for the string true. Yes, it is the same case for string true, right? Okay. So it's not possible actually. So int to, if you will convert this to, A, from A, it has to go again back to the, how video and audio files are stored in Python. That is in the terms of bytes and byte arrays. So those get converted into the bytes and byte arrays. Okay. Fine. So just remember this, wherever you will find two level of conversion is happening, that kind of data type will not be accepted. As simple as you can make. Okay. Fine. So now we will come to the complex function. Okay. So complex function and complex number. So we have seen this complex number already. What if A is not written with the single quote? So that will become a variable, no? That will become a variable and it will try to look for that value. But since if that, let's say if I will write, no. Let's say if you will write int a. Let's say if you will write int a. Okay, so int a here it is not in the code. So if you are not going to keep anything in the code, then it will, your PVM will consider it as a variable and it will try to look for the value. So in this case, it will give you the name error. Okay, invalid literal for int with base 10. Which one I'm accepting? So let me comment this. This is fine. Int a, print int a. Okay, so if I'm running this, it is giving you the value error. Base 10 true is not accepted. So a, somewhere I have assigned a this. So let me comment this code. Now this is fine. Now let's run this. So if you will run this, this time it is going to give you the value error. Again, it is value error. Where is this value error is coming? Have I used a variable somewhere? A is equal to 10. So let's run this. No, run this. Anyway, it is coming value error. So int a, no, it is taking this value. I will show you here in the different editor. Okay. No. What? See what it is taking. You know why it is returning. See, if you will read the error, you will get what exactly it is. So print int a. It is true, right? It is accepting it as a true. Why it is accepting it as a true? Because here I have provided true previously. Okay, so I will take one more. Here I will try to print int a. Okay, int a. Okay, if I will run this, so here you are getting name error. Okay, you should get name error because first this part will be executed, and since it is not inside the quotation, so it will be taken as a variable. And if you are taking it as a variable, then it should have some value. And since it is not a variable, you have not initialized it, so it is giving you the name error. If you remember previously, we have seen the name error. When this name error comes, whenever you are trying to access a variable which is not associated with some value. Okay, so you get the name error. So here you are not getting name error because it is taking this previous value. Here I have assigned it true, right? For a, previously I ran this, so that's why it is giving you the error. Okay, so let's remove this. That is not our part. So I hope it is clear. VL. Okay. PVM will search a. This is variable area in ring. PVM will search a. Correct. It will search for a and it will try to find what value is associated. Correct. Yes. So let's remove this. Now we will come to the complex numbers. Okay. So remember, complex number, any number, what we have seen in the definition, that any number in the form of a plus bj. What is a plus bj? So let's say if you have a number a is equal to 10 plus 20j, where 10 is what? 10 is real number and 20 is what? 20 is imaginary number. Why we say imaginary number? Because can you see here j? J is an imaginary number. So any number associated with this j is called the imaginary part. This is real part and 20 is imaginary part. Okay, this is imaginary part and j is always the real number. J is imaginary number. Okay, so if anything will be associated with this j, that will become the imaginary. Okay, fine. So this is imaginary number. Okay, now this is complex. So if you have any number in this format, that is called the complex number. Why we say j is an imaginary? So the value of j is square root of minus 1. Square root of minus 1. And why we say it is an imaginary number? So you can represent every number. Instead of j, can we use? No, you cannot use any other character. You have to use j. You might have heard of I also in the mathematics, but Python accepts only j, not I. Okay. And the value of j is square root of minus 1. Okay. So you can represent any number on the number line. I think in the childhood you might have learned about this number line. Okay, you can represent any number on the number line, root 2, root 3, root 4, root 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.1, 0.2, any number you can represent on number line, but you cannot represent square root of minus 1. So since you cannot represent it on the number line, that's why we mathematicians consider it as a imaginary number. And if you have this imaginary number, in this format, then this is called the complex number. Okay, a complex number have the real part and imaginary part. So if you don't have the real part, then the real part will become 0. So for example, we can have the if you want to get the real part out of this, so you have one attribute a dot real. So if you will type a dot real, you will get the real part, and if similarly if you will type print a dot image, so you will get the imaginary part. So if you run this 10.0 and 2.0, you will get. I hope it is clear. Complex number. Now there is a function called complex, like float and int. We have a function called complex. Complex function takes 2 arguments. The first argument will be real and the second argument will be imaginary. Okay. So let's say if you will pass 10, 20. Am I not audible? Hello, hello, hello. My voice is not clear. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I think it is clear for most of the people. Please check from your side, Omkari. Okay, so 10, 20 I am taking. So if I will run this code, so complex function, as I said, it takes 2 arguments, right? It takes 2 arguments. So first argument will become real and second argument will become imaginary. So if you will run this code, it will give you a complex number 10 plus 20j. Okay, it will give you the number 10 plus 20j. Okay. Fine. It will give you a complex number 10 plus 20j. Now let's say, what if I will pass, yes, so it will, no, this real part, as I said, no, real and imaginary part can be taken into the float value. Okay, so when you access a dot real and a dot imaginary, so these returns the float value only, and you can take float and real and imaginary part as complex. Okay, now let's say if you will pass only one value, 10. So if you will pass only one value in the complex function, this will become real and imaginary will become 0. So your output will be 10 plus 0j. So if you will run, it will become 10 plus 0j. So if you want only imaginary but you want real part to be 0, so inside complex function, you can pass the real part as 0 and imaginary part as 20. Okay, so in this case 0, 20j, 0 plus 20j, or in other words, you can write 20j. Okay, fine. Now VL, I hope your question is clear. Why it comes in the float? Because your real and imaginary can be in the float value, and when you type a dot real and a dot imaginary, so these are the inbuilt attribute and they are defined in such a way they will return only float value. Okay, okay, fine. I hope it is clear. Okay, so these all values you can pass. Okay, now can I pass? So it is your task to check all these values. Okay, do it as your homework. I will not go into this because unnecessarily we are 9:16. We need to go to the next part, Boolean, and we need to cover the if else and for loop. So you check with all these values, which all values are accepted, and make a note somewhere. Okay, for your references. Okay, fine. So let's do that. Okay, in which scenario in the data science we can use complex number. See, complex number are used for the complex calculations. Okay, when you will go to, let's say if you have generally it depends. Let's say if you have some that kind of data set where you need to use the complex number, then you will be using it, but it's not used in day-to-day life. Okay, so but you can have the knowledge. There might be some situation where you need to use it, so you need to have the knowledge on complex number. Okay, now I will come to the, so complex is clear. You just check what all values you can pass. You can pass binary, you can pass hexadecimal, you can pass octal, you can pass integer, you can pass float, you can pass Boolean values. But can you pass Boolean values in the string format? No. Can you pass float value in the string format? No. Can you pass int value in the string format? You need to check that one. Can you pass binary value in the string format? No, you cannot pass. So all these things you just check from your side. Okay, fine. Now I will come to the Boolean data type. Okay, correct, exactly. 2 level of conversion is not allowed then. Okay, now let's see Boolean data type. Okay, so in the Boolean data type we have only 2 values. One is true and one is false, and the corresponding function in Boolean is bool. Bool is the function which returns either true or false based on the value which you are passing to this. Okay, so now I will just show you few things. First of all, True means always 1 and false means always 0. Okay, but opposite is just different. Apart from 0, everything is true. Everything is true. Okay, in the case of integer. Okay, now similarly, apart from 0.0, it doesn't matter how much 0.000010 times you take, it will be false. But apart from this, everything will be is true. Okay, if you will add 1 at the end, it will be true. Okay, similarly, 0.0 plus 0.0j, comma 0 plus 0j, comma 0j. Okay, all these values are false. Apart from this, everything is true. Okay, now when we come to the string, so in the case of string, empty string is false, rest all is true. In the case of list, empty list is false, rest all is thing is true. If we come to tuple, empty tuple is false, rest everything is true. If you come to set, if we come to empty dictionary, it is false, rest everything is true. If you will come to empty set, this is false, rest everything is true. Okay, so these all are the different data types you can check for. So whenever you have something which is empty or none, then you can have it, you can take it as a false. Okay, now so how you can check? So you can pass bool function. So what about \0? So see, so there is a bool function. Okay, so inside the bool function, if you want to check any value, you can just pass that value inside the quotation and you can check whether that value is true or false. So this is a character, it is not empty, right? If you will pass this, this will be true. Okay, similarly, let's say if you will pass bool of null. Okay, print bool of null. Not null, we have none. Okay, so if you pass this, this is false, none is false. Okay, none means nothing, so this is false, you don't have null here. VL, you have none, instead of null you have none. Okay, so none is false. Okay, now so inside bool you can pass different values. You can pass empty string, this will be false. Okay, you can pass empty list, empty tuple, 0, 0.0, everything will be false. But apart from this, if you'll take any value, that will be true. Okay, so I think someone posted this question in the beginning. Bool, when you are writing bool here in the beginning, so whatever value you enter, that is getting passed as an argument to bool function, right? So if you are entering true, so that will return you true because there is some content in the string. Similarly, when you will pass bool, when you will pass false inside the bool function, so there is some content in the bool function, that will not be false, that will be true. Okay, so bool function with some content is true, but without any content, it will be true, false. Okay, fine everyone, I hope it is clear. Bool function, any question? Okay, so now I will come to yes, conditional statement. Okay, now, so why we need conditional statement? That is the first thing. So we know that as of now, whatever code we have written, these all code are sequential. The code are getting executed line by line. But our life is not so easy, right? Our life is, you might have seen that meme, right? Where we expect our life to be a straight line, but it becomes haphazard, right? So our life is not easy. Even programming is also not so easy. So it is not a sequential execution. You'll find there are a lot of situations where you have to make some decision. So whenever it comes to making some decision, then we take the help of the conditional statement. Now, in the case of conditional statement, there are few statements: if statement, if else statement, and if elif statement, if elif else statement, which helps us in writing the condition, and based on those conditions, we evaluate a statement or group of statements. Okay, so basically we can say the control structure. Why we say control structure? Because it controls the flow of the program. Okay, so we can say control structure are used to direct the order of execution of the statement in a program. So let's say I have a program here. I have a program. A is equal to input, enter first number, and B is equal to input, enter second number. Okay, so we have this two variables. Now what I want to do, I want to do this operation a plus b, print a minus b. I want to do print a into b, and I want to do a double slash b. Okay, I want to do these four operations, but I have to make a decision here. What decision I have to make? See, if a is greater than b, then I have to perform these two operations. Okay, if a is greater than b, then I have to perform these two operations. And if a is greater than b, then I have to perform these operations. And if a is less than b, then I have to perform these two operations. Okay, so my condition is I need to check whether a is greater than b or not. If a is greater than b, then only I will perform these operations. Okay, and if it is not, then I will perform this operation. So I have to make a decision here. So when you have this kind of situation, then you need to control the flow of the program, right? So if you will not have this, if you will simply run this program, so it will start executing it, right? So it will ask for the first number 10, then 20, and then you may get some kind of result which is not, viable. So here I need to make one decision where we will try to execute this two line of code based on some condition, and this two line of code based on some other condition. So we need to make a decision here. We need to control the flow of the program. This was the sequential execution, but now I don't want the sequential execution. I want to control the flow of the program. So whenever you need to control the flow of the program, you need to go for the control structure. And in control structure, we have loops and we have conditional statement. So as of now, for conditional statement, we will be using if statement, if else statement, and if else statement. And for loop, we will be using loop, for loop and while loop. Okay, fine. Now, in which cases we use if statement? If statement is mainly used to check whether a condition is true or not. If it is true, then a block of statement will be executed. So what is the syntax for that? So the syntax for if statement is, first of all, you have to write if, then the condition which you want to check here. After writing the condition, you need to put a colon, and then here you have to write the statement which you want to be executed. Okay, so this is the syntax of the if. So let's say if I want to execute, I want to print 10. Okay, if 10 is less than 20, so I will write the condition if 10 is less than 20, then print 10. Okay, so this is one statement I have written. Okay, so if I will run this code, I will get printed 10. Now just observe here, one thing is, when I'm writing this print 10, or when I have written the previous syntax also, I'm giving a space here, few space. This is called indentation in Python. Now, why we need indentation? Why we need to make indentation? So we need the indentation because we need to represent that this block of code or this line of code is inside if statement. So whenever you have this situation where you have to make a code, a single line of code or a multiple line of code in a if statement or for statement or inside a function, then you have to put the indentation. So whenever you have the requirement to make a block, you will go for the indentation. Whenever you will have the requirement for making the block, you will go for the indentation. Why we need to make the block? Because we know that this part of the code will be executed only when this condition is satisfied. Otherwise, it will be coming in the normal execution of the program. How many spaces should be given in the second line? So see, here the editor comes with its built-in spaces. Okay, standard is 4, but instead of counting the 4 spaces every time, it is better to use tab. If some editor are not coming with spaces like Notepad will not come with this inbuilt spaces. Okay, so standard is 4, but it is better to use tab, because every time because there might be some scenarios. Let's say in the next session here you want to check if 20 greater than 10. So now after this you have to write, after this you have to provide one more indentation. So you cannot start counting from here. Okay, 1 2 3 4, then 1 2 3 4. You cannot keep on counting like this, right? So instead of that, what you can do, you can simply put a 2 tab. So that will make your work easy. With table it will be more readable. Yes, correct. What if multiple statements are there in if condition? Multiple statements are there. Yeah, that's what I will be coming to that. Okay, so as of now we are executing single if statement, right? So for single if statement, what we have provided one level of indentation. So this is a single statement. What we have multiple statement to be executed inside if statement. This is only single statement we have. what if we have multiple statement? We have one more statement, we want to print 20. If 10 is less than 20, then I need to print 20 also, right? So I'll be writing 20 at the same indentation level of this first line. Okay, why? Because I want this also to be executed if this line is true. Okay, now let's say I want to print 30, okay, in the normal execution. So if this is true, then this should get printed, and after that, once we will come out of this, we should print 30 also. So we will write outside of this block. This will be by default executed. This line print 30 will be executed by default whether this is true or false. Okay, so for example, instead of taking 10 and 20, I will take A less than B. Okay, I will take A less than B. I will print the value of A and B. Okay, and I will assign some value for A and B here. So I'll take A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. Okay, now if I will run this code, so what will happen? See, this line of code is the normal execution of the program. This line of code is in the normal execution of the program. So whether this condition is true or false, if it is true, then this will be executed and then this will be executed. If this is false, then this will not be executed, directly this line will be executed. So let's say if I will run this code, as of now it is true, so you will get all these things, 10, 20. Okay, so you are getting all these things executed. But let's say if this is false, this is 20 and this is 10. So this condition is false. So now this block of code will not be executed and this will be executed directly. So I hope it is clear how we can make use of the indentation. So what you can see from here, that whenever we have a multiple block of code, multiple set of line of code which you want to be executed based on some condition or inside the for loop, then you go for the indentation, and all those lines which are in the same level of code should be kept at the same indentation level. Okay, is it clear? Everyone, is this clear? Okay. Okay. Fine. So now what we will do? Now we will check the if condition. Okay. So what if condition? If yes, we have written if. So if you have one condition to check, then you can go ahead with this. Now, can we do 48? 48 means? Raja, I didn't understood what you asked. Raja, please, 48 code elements. I am coming to if else. I'm coming to if else. Okay. Okay. So now, so as of now, what we have seen, we have checked only one condition. So let's say you are going outside. Okay, you are going outside to purchase something. Okay. Now you don't know whether that shopkeeper will have online payment option or not. Okay. So let's say if you are going only with your mobile, and if that shopkeeper, so you will think that, okay, if that shopkeeper has this online payment option, then I will pay with mobile, otherwise I will not buy. Okay, so I will come back. So this is one option you have. But when you want to keep a backup, then what you will do? You will go with your mobile, you will go with your purse also. Okay, wallet. So what you will do, if the shopkeeper has mobile payment option, you will make the mobile payment, else you will make the cash payment, but you will purchase the things, whatever you want to purchase, right? So whenever you have this kind of situation, whether if this happens, then I will do this thing, otherwise I will do this thing, then in that case, the useful the useful conditional statement we use is if else. So if you will see the slide, we have covered if statement. Now we have if else statement. If this condition is true, then execute this. If this is false, then execute this. And remember, else is always optional. Else is always optional. So here, if you will see, I have not written else. It is not giving me any error. Okay. But let's say what we can do here. Let's say I have A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, right? So I will check if A greater than B, then print A, else print B. Okay. So what exactly I want to say? If A is greater than B, then print the A. If A is not greater than B, if it is false, then don't print A, print B. This is what we want to make a decision here, right? So we have used if else. So you can use if else this way. Clear? So if I will run this code, so whichever is greater, it will be printing. So B is greater, it is printing B. Okay. So do we have switch case? No, we don't have switch in Python VL. We don't have switch in Python. Okay. Clear? So I hope if else is clear. Okay. Next. So let's say now the next part is if elif and else statement. So when if elif and else statement is required. So if elif and else statement, if elif and else statement is required, so see when if is required, so whenever you want to check some condition, one condition, then you go for the if. Let's say if you have multiple condition, then what you will do? If you have the multiple condition, then you may go for the multiple if statement. But what is the problem? So I will take one example, 10, B is equal to 30 and C is equal to 0. Okay, I'm taking C is equal to, let's say 5, I will take, not 0, I will take 5. So I want to print the largest number of all this. So I will print, I will write if A greater than B and A greater than C. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we don't have with if here. With if, I didn't understood your question. If condition. Yeah, if condition, this is the same thing, no? If condition. We don't use the bracket after if, we simply write the condition, okay? So if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, then I will print A, okay? Now, let's say I need to check whether B is greater than C or not. So B is already compared with A. I need to compare only with C. So I will write if B greater than C, then print B, okay? Fine. And else I will write print C, okay? So see, I have multiple conditions to check. So if you have multiple conditions to check, then whether you should go for multiple if statement, whether it will be good to go with the multiple if statement, we need to check with this example. So let's run this code, what output I'm getting. So I'm getting 30, okay? Why? Because this is false, okay? A greater than B, this is false, right? So this is false, correct? Now let's say if I will have this 30 and this one I will have 10, then what will be the output, okay? So if I will run this code, I'm getting both 30 and 10. So what is happening here? Why it is printing 30 and 10? So if you will look at this code, so 30 is greater than 10, this is true. 30 is greater than 5, this is true, so it is printing A. Now come to second condition. 10 is greater than 5, this is also true, so it is printing C. And since you have written this else, since this is true, so it is not printing this else. When else will be executed? If this condition is false, okay? Fine. Now let's say if you will write here 1, okay? So in this case, it will print 30 and 5. So what is happening? This is true, this is true. It is printing A. But this is false, so it is printing else part. Now, so if you have multiple conditions to check, and if you write the code in this way with multiple if statement, then there is a drawback. What is the drawback? If this condition is true, then also in that case, it will traverse the other if statement also. It will check the other if statement also, okay? So if you have multiple conditions to check, then never go for multiple if statement. Instead of that, you go for the elif statement. What elif statement will do, if this condition is true, then it will not come to this and this. If this is false, let's say if this if condition is false, then only it will come to this. And if this is false, then only it will come to this. Am I clear for everyone? Is it clear? If you have multiple conditions to check, then simply go for the elif. Okay, if elif else statement, okay? Yes, you can use multiple elif statement. I'll be giving you a code to write it, okay? So you need to write it. So let me get the response from everyone. Everyone, is this clear? I'm getting very few responses. I need the response from everyone, almost everyone. Please. Okay. I got it around much. Okay, fine. So thanks everyone. Yes. So now we have covered the if, elephant, else part. Okay. So anything else is left? Let me check. My name is Abhishek. Abhishek. So conditional statement is over. Now I will give you a code to write. Okay. So before coming to that, I will cover the ternary operator because that is related to condition checking. Okay. So what ternary operator says, so the syntax for ternary operator is result 1 if condition 1, okay, else result 2. Okay, this is a ternary operator and you can assign this to a variable also. So let's say whatever condition you will write, if this condition is true, then this will be the result. And if this condition is false, then this will be the result. Okay, fine. So this is the ternary operator. You can do the chaining of ternary operator. How you can do? So let's say you have A is equal to, you can write result 1 if condition 1, else result 2 if condition 2, else result 3. You can use ternary operator like this also. So if this condition is true, then the result will be this. If this is false, then it will come to this condition. If this condition is true, then the result will be this. And if this condition is also false, then it will be coming to this. So can you write one program using ternary operator to find the biggest of 3 numbers like this? Okay. So I'm going to give this all as an assignment. Okay. So that assignment you need to cover. Okay. So I will write one example of ternary operator. A is equal to, I'm going to find the maximum of 3 numbers. A is equal to 10. I will take this one only. A is equal to 30. B is equal to 1 and C is equal to 5. I'm taking these numbers. Okay. So how I can use the ternary operator? So result is equal to, I will take 30. Okay, or not 30. I will write A. When if A is greater than B and A is greater than C. See, this is the logical operator I am using. Remember, this is the logical operator. In these cases, you should not use the bitwise operator. Bitwise operator is different. This is logical operator. So if this will be evaluated as true and this will be evaluated as true, then only we can say that A is bigger. Okay, and then A will be the result. If this is false, then I will write else. I will write B. If so, one condition is already checked with respect to B. If A is not greater than B, then only we will come to the next part. So here I will check only with B greater than C, not with B greater than A, because it is already checked. Okay, in the first condition. Otherwise, I will write C. Okay, so if I will print the result, I will get the final result. If I run this, I will get the final result is 30. You can change the input also. I will make 3 here, 10 here, and 50 here. If I run this, I will get 50 as the largest number. Okay, fine. So this is one. Now, what you need to take it as an assignment. So your assignment will be to find the leap year. Okay, to find the leap year. Okay, so I will show you. I think it is already available in the Google Classroom. Just a second. So this is the data science prep classes. You can go to classwork. This is the Python assignment. Okay. You can go to this flow control. Before this, Boolean data structure, complex number, integers, float. You can cover all these things. Okay. List and string we will be covering in the upcoming classes. You can start with the flow control. So if I'll open this, you can see the content here. So I think it is not here. I will open from here. Desktop notes, flow control. Yeah. So if else statement, write a program which takes one number from 0 to 9. So you will be writing one program which will be taking one input from the user and a number from 0 to 9, only in this range. and if user will enter any number outside of this range, then it will print that number is not in the range. And if user will enter any number in this range, then it will print that number into the word. For example, if user is entering 1, then you will be printing it in the word. Okay. If user is entering 2, then you will be printing it in word format, TWO. Okay. Only in this range, 0 to 9. Okay. Fine. This is one question you need to do. Single line input will work in Python like A is equal to, yes, it will work. Yes, Lakshmi, it will work. A is equal to, not like this, but it will work like this. Okay, so it will work like this. It doesn't work like this. Multiple assignment works in Python. So let's say if I will write A comma B comma C is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30, right? So if you will print A comma B comma C, it will show you the respective result. Okay, fine, Lakshmi. Okay, so I will come to this. What happened? Connection failed. Okay, so this is one program. Write a program to implement calculator, but the operation to be done and 2 numbers will be taken as input. Operation, okay, but the operation to be done and 2 numbers will be taken from the input. Basically, what I want to say here is the operation which you want to do and the 2 numbers you have to take from the user, and then you have to implement the calculator. So please select any operation from below. To add enter 1, to subtract enter 2, to multiply enter 3, and before that take 2 number from the user. Okay, so enter all this to come out of the program, enter 8. So like this you need to implement. Next, leap year. So check your program with these inputs. Leap year are these and non-leap year are these. Okay, so if it is giving this year's leap year, then your program is fine, and if it is giving this year's as non-leap year, then your program is fine. Now you have to write a program which gives you even an odd number. This is also fine. Number 1 is getting. You have to do this if-elif statement, and you have to do this also based on if-elif statement. Now we will come to the loop. So this is already uploaded in the Google Classroom. Go and download from there and do these assignments by tomorrow. Okay. If you find any difficulties in doing these assignments, let me know in tomorrow's class. We will discuss it. But try to do it on your own once. Okay. Okay. Fine, everyone. Let's come to the loop. Okay, so now we will come to the loop. So what I said, the control structure or the whatever control structure we have. So we have if statement, we have, yes, we have if statement, if else statement, and if else statement. We have covered all these things, right? Now we will come to the loop. Before coming to loop, I need to cover range and xrange functions. Range function, okay? Because we need to use range a lot in the case of loop. Okay, fine. So let's see the range function. Before coming to loop, I will cover the range. Okay, so see, in Python 2.x, there was a concept of range and xrange. Okay, now what a range and xrange does. So see, range and xrange both are used to create a number of sequences. They both are used to create a number of sequences. Okay, but in Python 2.x, range gives you a list of numbers. Okay, and whereas xrange returns a range object. Okay, it returns a range object. Fine. But in Python 3.x, they have removed the concept of this range. They have kept xrange and they have renamed it this xrange as range only. Okay, so whatever xrange was doing in Python 2.x, range will do the same thing in Python 3.x. So what exactly range does in Python 3.x? So in Python 3.x, if you will write range, let's say 10, so it will generate a range object starting from 0 to 10. It will return a range object from 0 to 10. So let's see that. If I run, I'm getting range 0, 10. Okay, what exactly it is? Actually, it is a sequence and it has the number starting from 0 to 9. When you, whatever number you write here, that is not included. One less than that value will be included in that sequence. Okay, so if you want to see now what range was doing in the Python 2.x, so range was doing this thing. If you use range in Python 2.x, so it used to give this thing. Okay, it used to give this thing list. And X range used to give this thing, print range 10. It used to give this thing. Okay. Now, what is the difference between this and this? Remember, these two both are sequences, but the only difference between this is a list of number which is sitting in the memory. Okay. All these values are sitting in the memory. They are occupying the memory block. But when you use this range 0, 10, this is a range object. These values doesn't get created and they don't occupy the memory block. Okay, so memory wise, this is good. Whenever you want to access any value, so if you want to access any value, you can easily go and access the value here. You can check what all values are created. But if you want to access the value, it will be created whenever you need it. Okay, it will be created whenever you need it. So how you can access? You can easily run a for loop here. For I in range 10. Okay, and you can print I. Okay, if you will run this code, all these values will be created one by one and it will be shown you. Okay, fine. So this is the difference between range X range and range X range and range in Python 2.x and Python 3.x respectively. Is this clear, everyone? Range function. Everyone, please. Any question on range function? So range is a sequence which creates a number. Sorry for late question. Equal to and is no, it's not same, Omkari. I think I told you already yesterday. Equal to compares the content. Is the operator compares the identity, memory address. What about others? Very few responses. Okay, how the value of I is incrementing. I will covering that part. That is the part of the loop. But as of now, range is clear or not? Range is clear or not, Mithun? I will be covering that, how it works. I will be covering that part. Okay, fine. So now let's see where we can use the loop. Okay, so loop is used whenever, so as of now, what we have seen, whenever we have a condition to check, and then based on that condition, I want to execute a few block of code, then we go for the if, elif, and else statement. Then what is the loop? So basically, loop is used for the iteration. Let's say I want to print hi 10 times. Okay, I want to print hi 10 times. What is the solution you have? You can simply copy and paste this code 10 times. Okay, this is not a good solution. Copying and pasting the code is not a good solution. So if you know that this block of code I have to execute 10 times, then you can easily run the loop for 10 times over that code. So let's say if you want to print this hi 10 times, so you can easily run the loop on this. For I in, I will run the loop for 10 times. I will write 10 here and I will print hi here. Okay. So see, I am writing hi one time, but it will be printed 10 times. You can see it is printing, it is getting printed 10 times. So this is the advantage of loop. You don't have to rewrite the code every now and then. So rewriting the code or reusing the code, rewriting the code, not reusing. Rewriting the code every now and then is a biggest crime in programming. So if you are using print hi, you should not, if you have to print it 10 times, don't write this print hi statement 10 times. Better to use loop. So loop will work like this. It will execute this statement 10 times. Okay. And here also you can see we are doing indentation because this block of code I want to be executed whenever this loop will run. Now the question is how range function works. Okay. So see, there is a syntax of range. There are three syntaxes. There are three ways basically you can use range function. So you can pass one argument and that argument will be stop. The second one you can pass start and stop. Okay. And the third one you can pass start, stop, and step. Okay, these three arguments you can pass. So now let's see what happens in all these three cases. So whenever you pass one argument, okay, print range. Okay, whenever you pass one argument, so by default, this argument will be taken as the stop argument, and the default value of start will become 0. This is the reason when you will print this, you will get range 0, 10. So here the default value of start will become 0 and this value which you have passed here will become the stop. Now what this means, so this means here we have started creating the sequence of numbers starting from 0 and I'm going till 10, but 10 is not included. It will create always till 10 minus 1. So whatever the value of step, it will create till that stop value minus 1. Okay, so if you have 10, it will create till 9. So if you want to see, you can put it into list, okay, or you can run the loop over it and you will be able to see. You can see only 0 to 9. So whatever number you have written here, one less than that number will be, yes, up to, correct, up to. Clear? So one less than that, till that number it will be created. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now the second syntax is you can use range and you can mention that I want to start creating the number from 10 till 20, but 20 is included, so I will pass here 21. For in range print high separator, does not work if I want to high 10 times, because you don't have to use separator, you have to use end attribute. So you have to use end attribute, Ravindra. Correct. Remember, print high when it is executing, it is automatically going to the new line. So separator is of no use. Okay. Fine. So what you have mentioned the start value and you have mentioned the stop value. So it will create the sequence of numbers starting from 10 till 20. Okay. So if you will run this code, it will give you range 10, 21. And if you want to see the value, you can simply print list here, list this. So it will give you the number starting from 10 to 20. Clear? So you can specify start and stop. Now, if you can see here, if you will use these two syntaxes, then default value of step is always 1. You can specify the step also. Now, what is the use of step? So it tells that which value you want to take. Let's say here, every next value it is taking, right? But I don't want to take every next value. Let's say if I want to create a list of all even numbers starting from 2. Okay, a list of all even numbers starting from 2. So I will use simply range. I want to start from 2, right? So I will write 2 here. Till where I want to create a list of all even numbers starting from 2 to 20. 20 will be not included. Okay, so I'll mention 20, comma, I want even number. So I will mention 2 because after 2, the second number will be even number, right? So I will run this code and I will get this. So if you want to get that list, you can simply pass it here like this. It will give you all the even numbers between 2 and 20. So 2 using 2 step, I'm getting every second number. If you will mention 3 here, then it will take every third number. If you will mention 4 here, then it will take every fourth number. Okay, clear? Step is clear. How you can use range function? Everyone, is this clear? Everyone? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So now I will come to the for loop. Okay. Okay. So sorry. Before coming to the for loop, I need to show you how a for loop runs. Okay. So for I in, let's say you have a list. LST is equal to 10, 20, 30. Okay. This is a list. Now I want to access every element of this list. How I can do that? I can easily do using for loop. So what is the syntax of for loop? The syntax of for loop is for where in sequence. Okay, and then here you have to write the statement. Whatever statement you have to write it here. Okay, so this is the syntax of the for loop. Okay, now what is this variable? This is just a name. You can use any name. What is this sequence? You can pass any sequence. You can pass a list, you can pass a string, you can pass a range, anything you can pass. Okay, so if you want to access every element, then you can use the for loop here. How? For where in LST. Okay, so what will happen if I want to print var here? So what will happen? See, it will print all the value 10, 20, and 30. How it is printing? So see how this loop is running. So this loop means what? This for loop will run until and unless all these values are traversed at least once. At least actually it will run only one time. Okay. So what will happen? So let me use this. Yeah. So see what happens in the case of for loop. We have, let's say, for I in 10, 20, 30. Okay. And we are printing I. Okay. We are doing two operations, printing I and print I into 2. We are doing these two operations in the for loop. So both this statement will be executed wherever this for loop will run. So how this for loop runs? So what will happen? Every time we need to come in this for loop until and unless we will reach till 30. Okay, so what will happen? In the first iteration, I will go inside this list. I will pick the first value. It will always start from the first value. I will become 10. Then it will print I. So it will print 10 on the screen. After becoming 10, it will come here. It will print I. Then it will print I into 2. It will print 20. So this is the value of I, and this is the value of I into 20. I into 2, 20. Okay. Now, after executing this statement, we will go back to the loop because we have still few elements left in the list, right? So this time I will become 20. So after becoming 20, it will come and execute this line. It will print 20, and then it will execute this line 20 into 2, 40. Correct? Then from here, it will come back to the loop again because I have one more element. I will become 30. I will become 30. Then it will print I. This statement will be executed, and then this statement will be executed. 30 into 2, it will become 60. Now after this, it will again come back to the loop, and it will check whether we have any other element after 30. Since we don't have any element after this 30, so it will come out of the loop. So whatever statement you have here, in the normal execution of the program, it will be executed. Is this clear how this for loop is running? Okay, so either you can pass this 10, 20, 30 a list directly here, or you can pass a variable, means this list LST also here, because this list is pointing to the same, right? So similarly, like this list, you can also pass a string. For example, let's say I have for I in, remember this I is just a name, you can have anything. I have a string string. Okay, I have this. Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm printing I, as well as I'm printing I into 3. So how this loop will run? Just check here. So first time I will be what? Capital S. What will be the value of I, and what will be the value of I into 3? So I will be S. We will come here, we will print I. So S will be printed I into 3. S will be printed 3 times. We will come back in the loop. Next time I will become T. So T, and then it will come and execute this line. So it will print T, and T into 3, it will print T, T, T. And so on till it will print G, G, G. Once it will print G, 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 we will come back to this loop. Okay, we will come back to this loop, and we will check whether any other element is there after G. Since there is no element, we will come out of the loop. Okay, so this is how a for loop runs. So what if we want to, send the changed value of I to the for loop? Changed value of I. See, changed value of I, it is I value is getting changed automatically. It is getting changed, no? So when I is, let's say when I is G, so it is going with G only, but automatically it is picking the next value. This is the advantage of for loop. You don't have to, increment or decrement it. Okay, it automatically picks the first next value in the sequence. Okay, fine. VL, is this clear? I mean, whatever is executed within the for loop. You want, let's say you want to send GGG to I. Last value, for example, if I will take. No. No. See, what will happen whenever you will come to this part, no? Whenever you will come to this part, okay? Whenever you will come to this part, if whatever value you have for I, automatically the next value in this sequence will be taken. You cannot do anything. It is designed like that. Okay? Clear, VL? VL, is this clear? Yes, in while loop, we will do that. So that is a different part. Yes, we will do that in while loop. Okay. Okay. So this is how a for loop runs. Okay. So now automatically it is picking the next value from this list, and it is doing the operation whatever you have written here. Okay. So now what we can see here, there are two statements I need to make. You can implement for loop in one case when you know already the total number of execution, means how many times you want to execute a particular block of code. You already know it in advance, then you will go for the for loop. And if you want to traverse all the elements, if you want to traverse all elements in a sequence, then you will go for this loop. Okay, so here we know we have to run it for 3 times. So we have gone through this. Or if you want to traverse all the element in the sequence, then you will go for this. Okay, fine, clear? Okay, okay. So this is where now here what we have done, we have accessed every element of this sequence. Now there might be some situations, let's say traversing means we are accessing every element from that list. Okay, traverse means walking through or going through. Okay, let's say we have a list of lst is equal to ABC, few names you can take, XYZ and MNO. Okay, we have these different names here. Okay, now what we need to do is not this. Okay, so we need to access these elements with respect to their index. Okay, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, M, N, O. So see, one option we have, I can do it using for I in LST. Okay, and I can access this element easily. If I print I will be able to access all these elements. But I don't want to access like this. I don't want to pass this sequence directly. I want to access this element with the indexing. Now, what is indexing? So remember, every sequence, shall I continue or can we discuss it tomorrow, because it is going to be large topic? Shall we continue or we can discuss it tomorrow? The people are leaving the session. Anyway, we will do it tomorrow. Okay, so you can practice it, all these things. Okay, and no problem. Tomorrow we will discuss. We will try to do few problem based on loop also in the class, and I think in the first half an hour it will be covered. Let me know if you have any question from today's class, because I think 2 or 3 people have left, so others will be missing. Okay. Dinesh, let's do it tomorrow because others will be missing it. Okay, can you please explain the second invite? Second problem. Which one? Second problem, which one? How to implement version control system. This one we will cover. Version control system is not a big issue, right? You can cover it on your own. You can learn. This is simple. Version control system is simple. If you want to learn this, I will probably take this class based on this towards the end of this whole batch. Okay. What is this? I into 3. Okay. Okay. So see, I into 3, what we are doing this one. So see, what will happen in the first iteration, I will go inside this sequence, I will become S, because see, this is a string, right? It is in the quotation. So every character is an element here. So S is one element, T is one element, R is one element, I is one element. So for loop picks one element from the sequence. Okay. It will execute only one direction, left to right, not possible from right to. We will do all these things in the tomorrow's class. There are a lot of possible ways from -1 we'll do. That's what I wanted to discuss about the indexing. Okay, so we will discuss it in the tomorrow's class. Okay. See, whatever topic I will cover, I can make sure that I will not leave anything. Okay, everything in detail will be covered related to that topic. If I'm covering loop, everything will be covered in that. Okay, fine. So see, Lakshmi, I think you asked this question. Yeah, so it will pick every element. I into 3 gives SSS. Yes, it will give SSS. So I will become S, right? Because it will pick one element. So now it will come and execute this print I. So print I will give capital S. And when it will come to this I into 3, it is a repetition operation. Okay. So this is what, so this is concatenation and repetition I wanted to cover. I will do one thing. I will explain. I will start from here tomorrow. Okay. Don't worry. I will start from here because there is a lot of things. There is indexing, positive indexing, negative indexing I need to cover. And then concatenation, repetition I need to cover. Okay. Then all these things I need to cover. So I will start from here tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we will cover loop and all. So we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay. Lakshmi. Yes, this will be the output. Lakshmi, it will be the output. Okay. You can do this. You can try it from your side. And we'll start the discussion from here. Okay. Any other question from anyone? Okay. Okay. Then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time, 8 o'clock. Thanks everyone. Thank you for joining out of the topic. What is out of the topic, Chandrasekhar? Thank you, Dinesh. Which question? Which question you asked? I didn't see. I have a question on Sublime Editor. You can let me know what is Sublime. If you want to use Sublime Editor, see, I'm telling you, Chandrasekhar, editor or IDE is not a big issue. Okay, you can use any editor. Okay, you can use any editor, you can use any IDE. Don't get yourself stuck in unnecessary things. Here we have, here we are meeting together to learn Python. This is the main, reason. Okay, so focus on that, because if you will learn Python, you can code on any editor. Today, let's say if you are working in your organization on PyCharm, tomorrow if you change your organization, there you might have to work on some other editor. It doesn't recognize the input. How do I enable? Oh, okay, this is the question. So I'm not using this Sublime Editor. So I will check and I will let you know. So I think I need to install it. I will check it, and probably in the tomorrow's class, I will let you know. Okay. 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 Thank you, Chandrasekhar. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll meet tomorrow. Stay tuned and keep yourself safe from COVID-19. Okay. Thank you. Bye.